This is the NHL Gaming World Championships.
Opts for the one-timer and converts. He scores 1-0.
Tonight, 8 gamers from all across Canada go head-to-head in NHL 20 for $10,000 and all the Chell glory.
Grabner with the one-hand tuck. Make that a beauty highlight reel.
Which of these players will be crowned the 2020 Canadian Regional Champion?
Welcome everyone to the 2020 NHL Gaming World Championships. I'm Ardo Cal alongside Andrew Nasher-Telfer. We are the voices of Chell. So happy to be back for our third season. Tonight we're kicking things off with the Canadian Regional Final. Nasher, I know you've been keeping busy this year with your viral trick shots.
Yeah, listen, we've had a lot of time inside. Might as well make the most of it. I grabbed a waffle, put it on my hockey stick, and threw it over my head into the toaster. Posted on Instagram by Snoop Dogg. Biggest accomplishment of my life today.
Your poor wife commandeering the kitchen like that? Come on, buddy.
Look at this. I mean, I'm not even making a mess.
You're making dents. Look at this.
Did I put a slight dent in the microwave? Yes. But we got the job done, got some cool clips out of it. That's all that counts.
Looking back to last year's Canadian Regional Final in Toronto, we'll see some returning faces, but all eyes have to be focused on young Gren. His third straight year qualifying, but he is yet to win at the regionals, coming in second place the past 2 seasons. This year, he's looking to change that. We spoke to him earlier about what he learned from those past 2 events.
In 2018, it's a brand new experience. It's the first year of the GWC. My ego was a bit out of control. You know, I was known to get up and get in my opponent's faces after goals. And then Eki definitely humbled me there. So last year, I didn't do that nearly as much. That match against Josh was probably the closest, sweatiest game of NHL I've ever had and probably will ever have. I mean, all 3 games OT to make it to Vegas. I mean, what more could you want, right?
Behind the net, he scores! Young Gren has done it! He defeated Josh Fearless!
Not even 5 minutes after, me and Nuke had to start up the final, so it was draining mentally, but, I mean, Nuke was a great player. I think he would have won either way. You know, I've really tried to focus on defense recently. I know I can score, but if I really focus on just allowing 1 or 2 a game, then I shouldn't lose.
Well, Gren has always been an offensive force. What do you think about the improved defensive play going into GWC, Nasher?
Yeah, he's got his mentality figured out. Obviously, last year, going down in games, he found himself in a bit of trouble. This year, he's focused on defense. We'll see how it works for him.
So let's talk about the 2020 NHL Gaming World Championship format. Of course, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the format is a little bit different for this season. Instead of crowning one world champion in Vegas, we will be crowning a champion in each of the 3 regions: Canada, the United States, and Europe. So here's how each player has qualified. The competitors all signed up for 4 weeks of open qualifiers. The 32 with the best record from each week advanced to the play-in bracket round. Pretty easy so far, right? From thousands, we went down to 256 players, 128 on each console. These lucky competitors all went head-to-head in a best-of-3 series in a giant single-elimination bracket. So, you lost a series, you were out. Think about that pressure. After the conclusion of the entire bracket, we were left with the top 8 in each region, the 4 best from each console. What I'm trying to say here is that the 8 players here tonight earned their spot. Now let's look at who's made it to the Canadian Regional Finals. Returning players: Regs, Young Gren, Sitful, and Odie. New faces: Corey Perry, Mateer, Drewy, and Desi. Corey Perry now sets the record for the youngest competitor ever in GWC history at the age of 16, the dark horse favorite leading into the competition. Tonight's format continues much of the same. The 8 players are seeded based on their qualifying positions. It's a single elimination bracket, and each match is a best-of-3 series. We go until we are left with just one, the champion of Canada. But hey, it's not just the title on the line, there's also some cash. Let's take a look At the prize breakdown, first place, $10,000. Second, $2,500. Third and fourth, a cool grand. And fifth to eighth, $500. Now let's go over to the third member of our broadcast team, our very own Chell insider, Corey Robinson.
Thanks, Arda. I am stoked to be here with you guys. I'm actually joined by the youngest competitor in GWC history, Corey Perry. Corey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm excited. I mean, this is it, right? You're the youngest player ever to qualify, and you're number one. Do you feel like you have a target on your back? Like, what's your mindset going into this matchup?
I don't feel like I have a target on my back. I've gotten some people online saying, "Oh, you don't deserve to be here" and stuff like that. But I've also got some guys saying, "Oh, you got this," and give me support. So it's kind of mixed opinions.
I love that, man. So upcoming, you got a match against Drury. So what's your strategy coming into this series?
I've never actually played Drury. He's the only one in this, and all 8 of us who have never played. So I'm not exactly sure what his play style is, but I'm just gonna play my game and we'll see how it goes.
Thank you so much, Corey. I look forward to watching you play, and back to you guys in the studio.
It's interesting, Corey Perry's in the same situation that Gren was a couple years ago, being the youngest competitor in GWC. What do you make of all the hate he's been getting? Some people saying he shouldn't even be here.
Yeah, a lot of guys online are saying that this guy has not put in the work. He doesn't deserve. He's young. He's unexperienced. But I think Corey Perry is going to make a statement here.
Well, don't go anywhere. Up next, we drop the puck in the quarterfinal round here in the Canadian Regional Finals. Don't go away.
Let's go, baby.
I came out hot, man. I came out swinging.
Welcome back to the NHL Gaming World Championship. This is the Canadian Regional Final, and the winner tonight will be going home with $10,000. These are some of the best gamers from all across Canada. They all want the cash, but it's the title these competitors are truly after. We already have 2 moving on to the next round with Desi and Corey Perry. Just 2 spots remaining. Nasher, has Corey Perry impressed you so far?
Yeah, Corey Perry coming up with a huge win, especially at 16 years old, to take down a solid opponent in Drury. That is a solid start for him.
So let's see who will take one of those remaining spots in our next match. Both are returning players from 2018. It's Regs versus Odie.
My name is Regs. I'm 19 years old. I'm from Thunder Bay, Ontario. I've been playing NHL for roughly 9 to 10 years. Used to start out playing franchise mode with my dad offline and stuff. I've been competing for the last 3 years now. I've won 3 LAN tournaments and won multiple online tournaments.
Hi, I'm Odie. I'm 27 years old from Stony Creek, Ontario, and I've been playing NHL for 11 years. I pretty much partaked in every single NHL club event over the past couple years, and I won Leafs Gaming back in February. Regs is probably the unanimous best player in the world this year. I did play him 2 years ago at GWC Regionals. Hopefully this time it's a little bit of a closer game than what we had 2 years ago.
Obviously, Odie's a great opponent. 7-2 scoreline doesn't necessarily tell the entire story, but no, I'm definitely confident in my ability as a player, and I look forward to playing him, but I think I'm going to be able to get the job done.
I truly believe that I'm one of the best defensive players in the world, and that if I play to my abilities defensively, I think I can take down anyone.
Now let's jump into the highlights. Each match today is a best-of-3 series. Regs off to a very hot start in Game 1, shutting out Odie and putting up 3 goals.
And that is what Regs is all about. He is going to cycle around and find those backdoor openings. He did it well there against Odie, one of the strongest defenders in the game. But fortunate for him, he gets off to the hot start that he wanted.
Regs is just nasty on offense. That puck possession in the offensive zone is sometimes insurmountable. In Game 2, much of the same. Regs kept up the pressure, taking a 4-goal lead.
And look at this tie-up play from Regs. Pushes the center forwards. It goes right to his winger, who's able to cut across the ice untouched and bury it on the far side. That is what the speed and the patience of Regs is able to accomplish.
So Regs is moving on to the next round quite comfortably as we take a look momentarily at the bracket. And now it will be Regs taking on Desi in the semifinals, and Corey Perry awaits the winner of Brennan Sitful. Let's head on over to Corey Robinson, who's standing by with Regs.
Thanks, Arden Asher. Regs, what a game. At the end there, Odie scored 2 quick goals. How did you manage to close out the series and prevent a game 3?
Yeah, he got a couple late in the game there. I felt like I didn't really play much of bad defense on them. More so, he was playing really good offense at the time. Just had to relax there, get the top line out, try to win a face-off, gain possession, which led to him taking a penalty, which allowed me to kill a good 2.5 minutes of that game, and was just able to play solid defense for the rest of it.
Love that. Well, thank you so much, Regs. Good luck in the rest of the tournament. And this is back to you, Arda.
Well, Regs confident and humble as always, but definitely has momentum going into the semifinal, Nasher.
Yeah, he's looking solid. He knows what he has to do, and I mean, based on that first series, he is very, very prepared going forward. Let's see if he can keep it going.
So let's find out who will get the last spot in the next round. We have last year's runner-up, Young Gren, taking on Sitful, a rematch from 2018.
Hi, this is Young Gren. I'm from Quebec, Canada. I am 19 years old, and I've made it both years, but I think this is the year I finally win it. Whoever wins the match between me and Sitful, I feel like will come out of our side. I think Corey and Drew are both very capable, but I think me and Sid have both been there, the past 2 years, and it's just a different environment playing in GWC compared to any other tournament.
Hi, my name's Sitful. I'm 20 years old from Barrie, Ontario, and this is my 3rd year competing at the GWC. Gren in the first round this year, he's a fast player. I think if I just slow the game down, play to kind of my game, I should be good. I should take him.
He's one of my good friends in the community. He definitely knows how I play. I know how he plays. So, I mean, whoever's sharper on that day, I think will win that game, but I think I'll be all right.
Gren, you took my Penguins in the draft, and I'm coming for you now.
All right, so my bold prediction here is if I take down Sit, I'm going to win the entire tournament.
Yes, bold prediction indeed. That's exactly what you would expect from Gren, and he sure got off to a great start in his first match against Sitful in Game 1. Gren scored 3 goals in the first period alone, then 3 goals again in the second.
And he's not just scoring goals, he's making them pretty as well. A nice little spinorama, finds the guy backdoor, and look at Gren. Calm, cool, and collected this year.
7-1 in game number 1. In game 2, Sitful actually had a 2-1 lead early in the second, but Gren piled it on after tying it up, scoring 4 unanswered goals. He would go on to win the game 6-3 and take the series.
This is how we know he has changed. The fact that he could bounce back from this. In previous years, he may have struggled, but now he's scoring beautiful goals. Again, that spinorama, that one-hander right there, and look at him just vibing right now.
Sitful not too happy with the result. Meanwhile, Gren on a collision course. So far, the prophecy is ringing true, at least for him getting to the semifinals.
This very well is looking like it could be his year. He has struggled in the past, but to come out and show like that against Sitful, look at this bracket.
So here's what we look like going into the semifinals. It looks like the old guard versus the young guns in both matchups. So Nasher, what matchup are you looking forward to the most here?
Corey Perry is the guy that I am looking out for. We saw young Grant. He played a good game, but Corey Perry is here to make a statement. People are doubting him. No one expects him to go far, but this is his chance to shine.
We're going to take a quick break here, but up next is the semifinal round here at the NHL Gaming World Championship.
Walk him down. Let's go.
My game, bro. This is almost no serious.
Welcome back to the NHL Gaming World Championships. Regs is moving on to the Canadian Regional Final after this impressive win over Desi. Tons of great matches so far, but just one spot remaining, and it's between Corey Perry and young Gren. Early thoughts, Nasher?
This is going to be a battle through and through. Young Gren looking to prove himself after a couple rough goes at the GWC in previous years. Corey Perry, the newcomer, the new youngest player to ever play in the GWC, looking to make a statement as well.
Thank you very much for joining us here in the 2020 GWC. I'm Ardo Cal alongside Nasher. We are thrilled to have you here with us for some Chell action. Let's talk about the competitors in our semifinal match. We start with Corey Perry. As you mentioned, he's just 16 years old. From Windsor, Ontario, he is the now youngest competitor ever in the Gaming World Championship, taking the record from his opponent, young Gren, who was also 16 in 2018 when he first competed in this competition. Gren's birthday is in July and Corey's is in September, so that's why he wins out. Nasher, can we call this matchup a veteran versus a rookie matchup?
100% we can. Young Gren, one of the most established players in the NHL community, has won numerous tournaments, while our guy Corey Perry here has not even had the chance to play in many at all. You have to be 16 to play in a lot of the tournaments, so this is really his first go on the big stage.
What a way to start. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from Game 1 of their semifinal series. It was a wild one. A 7-goal back and forth first period.
We got 9 goals there midway through the second, and young Gren continues to put it on. He wanted a one-hander. That's his go-to move. He gets a little bit of space and pulls it off in the biggest game of his life. But it's not done yet.
Gren locked on his defense in the second period and put in 3 more goals. He would go on to win the game 9-5. He ties the record for most goals scored in one game in NHL GWC history, and now he leads the series 1-0. Nasher, what kind of adjustments do you think Corey needs to make going into Game 2?
I think Corey kind of moved away from his game. He obviously went into this game with the strategy. He was going to focus on puck possession and offense, but Gren's defense kind of just got in the way of that. So he needs to get back to his play, cycle the puck a little bit, and find those open backdoor feeds.
So how are all these competitors playing in this tournament? Let's give you a little bit of an explainer. All games tonight will be played using Hockey Ultimate Team. HUT is a NHL 20 game mode that allows you to create your fantasy lineup and compete online against other players from around the world. The regional finalists all took part in a fantasy draft to select their 25-player roster and their NHL team as well. Each player has their own custom roster with no 2 competitors having the same NHL players. You'll see some really great line combinations. Let's see if Corey Perry can bounce back in this matchup. He needs to win to stay alive in this best-of-3 series. Young Gren, with 1 more victory, will return to the Canadian Regional Final for the 3rd straight year. And Gren gets on the board first, 1-0.
A nice little cross crease pass. He saw the opening. Young Gren is going to be good. If he finds those spots, it's going to go in every single time. Right across the slot. Hellebuck not able to get his glove up, and that is a big first goal for young Gren.
Gren controlling the Pittsburgh Penguins. Corey Perry as his favorite Toronto Maple Leafs. Definitely a little self-critical of himself, but he is looking to bounce back here. We are in the second period with 14 minutes to go, and he scores a nice wrister just above the hash marks.
Corey Perry not doing a lot with his first line, but making use with players you wouldn't expect to score a ton. We got Ryan Ellis bringing it in from the point, finds some open space, and buries it into that bottom left corner. Big goal for Corey to get back in it.
Corey Perry's tournament hopes are still alive with that crucial goal, and you can see what it means to him. Later in the second period, we're tied at 1. Corey Perry on the breakaway, and look at the manual goalie error by young Gren.
A bit of a mistake from Gren. He tried to manually control his goalie. I believe he was trying to switch back and faked out himself, doing a full 360, leaving the net wide open for Zach Hyman. One last look at it. Just a critical mistake at a time like this.
Ask any competitor and they won't care how the puck gets to the back of the net. Every single time it counts, especially when the pressure's on in a situation like this. And Gren is definitely wishing he had that one back. 2 and change to go in the second period, and Corey Perry adds to his lead.
Maybe he was a little nervous in that first game. Gren started to just kind of take over. Now it is Corey Perry's time. He is finding openings, he's being patient, he's working it in the corners, and eventually finding those much needed lanes with a beautiful backhand, forehand finish.
Corey Perry with a strong first line of Connor McDavid, Claude Giroux, and Taylor Hall, among the best first lines in all of the Canadian regional tournament. Meanwhile, young Gren playing with Crosby, Stamkos, and Evander Kane. Third period now, 3-2. Corey Perry looking to add to his lead. He scores. Look at the patience, out-dueling the goaltender.
And now he's finally putting the speed of Connor McDavid to use as he burns by on the outside, makes his way to the net, holds it on the backhand, gets bumped around a little bit, but stays with it. A great finish from Connor McDavid and a huge goal for Corey Perry.
I talked about players you don't normally see in jerseys. Of course, Crosby playing with the Penguins here, but Connor McDavid in a Leafs jersey, that might take some getting used to for some people watching this right now. 5-3, 5:59 to go in the third. Can Corey Perry keep his tournament hopes alive? Maybe one more goal will seal the deal. He circles around to McDavid, scores! And there's the possible dagger, 6-3.
Connor McDavid doing what he does best, and look at Corey Perry celebrating. He goes backhand, forehand, absolutely no angle on that final shot, but he lifts it over the shoulder and into the back of the net.
So that'll do it. Corey Perry stays alive. The series is tied at 1. We'll bring you the decisive Game 3 after the break. Welcome back to the NHL Gaming World Championship. This is the Canadian Regional Final. Corey Perry was able to take Game 2 of the series against Young Gren by a final score of 6-4. Only one spot remains in the final, and both players are chasing $10,000. It will all be decided in Game number 3. Arda and Nash are still with you here. Game 3 on deck. We couldn't ask for a more dramatic situation here as we get started. Gren as the Penguins, Corey Perry as the Leafs, and here comes Gren in the offensive zone, skating and scores with Stamkos.
The back skating from young Gren. As he enters the zone, he turns his back. Corey Perry not able to defend that, tries to go for a bump on him, tries to poke check, does not work, and young Gren finds Steven Stamkos backdoor.
Gren mentioned to me before the tournament that he was iffy about his lineup when he was first playing it. I mean, he's happy right there, but he said that his lack of size on the roster was definitely something he was concerned about, but it looks like he is really rolling right now as he a giveaway here leads to a partial breakaway, and oh yeah, the dangles for days. It's 3-0 Gren.
Yeah, I don't think he has to worry too much about his lineup now. These guys are absolutely flying. Evander Kane gets the puck on a breakaway. Bit of a mishap there from Corey Perry. And we know playing at the top level like this, every single time they get an opportunity, whether that be a breakaway or a cross crease, the puck will go in.
Evander Kane, definitely somebody that enjoys playing Chell as well. We have played with him on NHL Stream before. If he's watching this right now, I'm sure he enjoyed watching himself score in the tournament. We pick it up now, second period, 10 minutes. Can Corey Perry get back into this one? Threatening Gren again. Oh my gosh, it is 6-0 in this third and final game.
Young Gren has decided to just not take his foot off the gas. When you're up by 5, usually you could just relax, kind of kill some clocks in the corners. No, young Gren wants to go for a scoring title here, trying to put up as many goals as physically possible and potentially scare away his future opponent Regs when he meets him in the finals.
Can you imagine, third straight finals berth in the Canadian Regional Final, and possibly, especially with this momentum, the third time could very well be the charm for young Gren. 7-0, third period, make it a great 8.
Unbelievable. to come out and score 8 goals in a game like this. Props to Corey Perry. He had a good first and second game, but Youngren has adapted. He has figured out how to beat Corey Perry's defense and just shut him down completely.
The student, at least in this series, does not overtake the master.
He's playing good.
It was only 2 years ago that Youngren found himself in this very situation that Corey Perry
You don't get any of them.
is in right now, and Corey Perry is doing some self-analysis right now, just looking at things, going back to the drawing board. But now the finals are set. Youngren, in his 3rd straight appearance, he will be meeting Regs, and they have been playing a lot, scrimmaging, practicing leading up to this tournament, and both of them have said they are both 50-50 against each other. Let's head on over to Corey Robinson, who is standing by with Youngren.
Thanks, Arda. Grin, wow, 9-1. You definitely accomplished the goal. We talked about in game 2, game 3. You said, I just need to focus on defense going into this game 3. You did. What did you do adjustment-wise?
Yeah, so game 2, he's got off right away, to a quick lead, so I had to start chasing him and forecheck. So going into that game, I just went full trap and just tried to clamp him, and it worked.
Yeah, it definitely did. And next, you got Regs in the finals. Your only losses to him. What do you need to do to have success against him?
I got to be perfect. I mean, I think him and I were the only 2 people that gave each other losses in scrims the past couple days. So I think it'll be a really good matchup, but I definitely have to put my A game.
Battle between 2 Titans I'm excited for. I look forward to the finals. Thank you.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Corey. Nasher, based on what you've seen in this tournament so far, between Regs and Youngren, who has the edge?
Oh, it's tough to say right now, Arda. This is going to be an absolute battle. These guys are so even. Right now, Regs has played just consistently perfect hockey. He has not lost a game so far, but Gren, who had a little mishap, fell back a game to Corey Perry, bounced back with a 9-goal win. So this could literally go either way. I have no idea who's going to take this one.
We have a fantastic final in store, the one many people predicted. Don't go anywhere. Up next, for the Canadian Championship of Chell, Regs, Youngren, coming up next. We're back here in the NHL Gaming World Championships. Youngren just booked his ticket to his 3rd straight final appearance in Canada, defeating the youngster Corey Perry in Game 3 of their series by a score of 9-1. Regs and Youngren are in the final now. Here is the path to get there. For Youngren, you have to be thinking that, as impressive as it is to make 3 straight finals, Nasher, this has to be the one for him where he steps up and finally reaches for the brass ring.
These 2 players in the finals here with Regs and Youngren, both favorites going into this tournament. So for them to actually come through and make it happen, this is something the NHL community has wanted for a very long time. It will be a show. I know this is going to be entertaining. I can't wait to see what happens.
Well, it's not just the title on the line, of course. There's also some cash involved for the competitors today. First place will take home $10,000. Second place, $2,500. 3rd and 4th get $1,000 each, and 5th to 8th to participate, $500. So let's take a look at the competitors and how they got here. There is the road to the final. Regs absolutely perfect, but look at those offensive numbers for Youngren. 7 goals against Sitful, 9 goals twice against Corey Perry. A reminder, this is a best-of-3 series. Winner takes home $10,000. Game number 1 is here. Near the end of the first period, we thought it would be a 0-0 score. No! Youngren says, I'll take a goal lead into the intermission.
With just over a second on the clock, we didn't think he had a chance of pulling anything off, but the composure to make his way quickly up the ice and to get it to where it needed to be, that is a Youngren play if I have ever seen one.
So Gren saying, this is how important it is to me. I am using every single second to my advantage. The third time is the charm. I want to desperately be the champion of Canada. Second period now. Let's pick it up with 14 and change to go. From the point, Regs will score. From the blue line, we're tied.
Regs not really able to get his usual strategy going. He likes to sit in the corners, likes to rim the puck around the boards until he finds a backdoor pass that is not available for him in this game. Gren really stepping up his defense. Instead, he's resorting to the points. Fires it across, the one-timer is open, and what a shot there from the point.
The last time Regs was part of GWC, it was 2018, and he was eliminated from the tournament by none other than Gren. They have made multiple club tournaments since then. Second period still. Regs takes the lead.
And what a play off the face-off. He wins the draw, gets up the ice quickly, and has an opening. And right here, Alexander Ovechkin kind of started that play, the first pick in the draft for Regs. He's able to finish the play there with Duchesne. Nice goal.
Regs with Duchesne, Ovechkin, and Radulov as his first line, seeing a lot of ice time, and rightfully so, as he now is in the driver's seat in this matchup in game number 1 of a possible 3. Gren not happy as the clock ticks away in the second period. Gren looking to get back into this one in the offensive zone. In front of the net, he'll score and tie the game.
2-1 lead now for young Gren. He makes his way over to the net, passes it to Patrick Kane, gets it across, and bang. What a shot. The patience and creativity from Gren. Most guys would just shoot that on the backhand and probably risk a save. Puck bounces to the corner, goes the other way. No, young Gren knows what to do and buries it there with Kane.
Picking it up in the third period, we are tied at 2. Regs still has the puck behind the net. He will look for an outlet. The beautiful pass to Matt Duchesne, make it 3-2 for Regs.
Wow, Matt Duchesne just stepping in huge for Regs today. Goal after goal, play after play, and that first line is the difference maker so far in this tournament for Regs. They have just been dominant from start to finish.
Regs taking the lead over young Gren. Believe me when I tell you, young Gren is the most decorated Chell competitor with the most tournament victories, but the one he says you would want the most is this Canadian Championship in 2020. 12 and change to go in the third. Regs up by 1, looking to add to his lead, and does exactly that. The 1T converts again.
And now this is starting to get a little bit scary for young Gren. Regs running away with this game. We've seen in all of the previous matches, whenever he gets any sort of lead, he starts to build on it. He never takes his foot off the gas, and we'll see if Regs can keep that going.
When it matters the most, Regs has turned on the Jets and has been throwing daggers at young Gren. 12:09 left in the third, 4-2 scoreline, and Regs will be looking for more into the offensive zone. Behind the net, Regs back to the point to Atkinson, to Nurse at the point now, brings it forward, young Gren collects it, no, Regs has it again, Buchnevich scores! Make it 5-2 for Regs.
He did not give up on the play on that one. Unfortunately, had a missed opportunity there. Backdoor. The save comes out to Cam Atkinson, and he is not going to miss it a second time. Puck sitting wide open. The 5-hole is gaping, and that is a great finish there for Regs, who has just ran away with this game.
So Regs will win game number 1, 5-2 off an incredible third period performance from Regs. Up next is game number 2 of the Canadian Regional Final. Stay with us. Welcome back to the NHL Gaming World Championship. Arda and Nash are still with you. This is the Canadian Regional Final, and Regs leads the series 1-0 against Young Gren going into game number 2. Nasher, that was an incredible third period from Regs. Young Gren has to go back to the drawing board. He must be thinking now, man, can I ever catch a break in a Canadian Regional Final?
Yeah, when we look back at that game, Gren had a lot of good opportunities, but Regs really just made do with what he had. He started out down 1 in the game, was able to come back and really battle back against all odds, and then it was all Regs in that third period. He stuck to his game plan, he was cycling the puck around, and had control of the puck for a majority of that third period.
Regs is so good in the offensive zone, containing the puck, not letting anyone get near him. The puck possession numbers are through the roof. What can Gren do to counteract that in the second game?
Gren is playing solid defense. What he needs to do is actually step up and do the same thing on offense. He needs to get control of the puck, kind of settle things down a little bit. It looks like he's rushing shots, trying to just throw things at net instead of waiting for those perfect opportunities like Reg has succeeded at.
Well, before we get into game number 2, let's go behind the boards with Corey Robinson.
Thanks, Arda. I spoke to Regs before the game, and he's the only player in this regional who has a win over Gren. He said he's been playing a lot against Gren leading up to this in scrimmages, and it just goes all over the place as far as scorelines is concerned. 8-7, 1-0, and everything in between. So going into this game, Regs said his game plan is to play good defense first and foremost, and then get on the boards early and make Gren catch up, and then eventually force Gren to get some penalties, and then he'll run away with it. So that's his game plan. He managed to get the win in game 1. Let's see what he can do in game 2. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Corey. A reminder, this is a best-of-3 series. The winner will be crowned the Canadian Regional Champion and take home $10,000. If Regs wins one more time, that $10,000 and the title is his, and he gets off to a great start with 7:19 left in the first. It's 1-0.
What a start there for Regs. You know it's a relief for him. He doesn't have to battle back like he did in the last game. Getting the first goal here early is huge.
Young Gren looking to tie it up here. He is in the offensive zone, buzzing, and it's Sidney Crosby who ties it up for Gren.
Sid the Kid has carried Young Gren's team. Every single play is going through him, and it does not change here. Crosby sitting wide open back door. Again, that first line for Young Gren, absolutely dominating.
In previous years, you might hear Young Gren jumping out of his seat saying things like, "You can't let that happen to you. I'm in your head." But a more calm and more mature Gren is processing this a lot differently, especially with his tournament life on the line. Pick it up now, second period, 15:50 to go. Here's Regs behind the net. Will look to circle around. Gren gets it for just a second. Oh, the one-timer, beautifully done, and Regs takes the lead.
Bit of a mistake there from Young Gren, kind of chased the puck behind the net, and that's what led to that wide opening for Regs. Another beautiful play. Again, no mistakes from this guy. Every time he has a chance, it will find the back of the net, and it's not any different right there.
And you've said this before, Nasher, you can't give either of these competitors any sort of leeway. They will capitalize on any single mistake.
Yep, it's all about playing a picture-perfect game, and so far, Regs is doing just that.
Sundqvist with the puck here. Oh, another beautiful one-timer this time. It's Pavel Buchnevich.
I have no idea where the puck is going whenever Regs has it on his stick, and that's what makes him such a special player. You can see the double pump fake. It looked like he was shooting on his backhand. It looked like he might have reset it to the point, but no, he no-look passes it through Gren's defender, and it again increases his lead.
Regs is a champion with the Winnipeg Jets and twice with the Washington Capitals. Would love nothing more than to add that Canadian championship, but Young Gren has other designs behind the net here. Finds the right person, Nylander, at the doorstep and brings it to within one.
Young Gren is not going to give up. He is not going to go down easy. He has plenty of time left to turn this game around, and that is the first of a much-needed 2 goals to get back in the game.
This is why young Gren is the most decorated player, along with victories with the Habs, Leafs, Minnesota Wild, and the Snyder Cup in 2018. He has been to every single grand final in the NHL Gaming World Championship, but the Canadian Championship has eluded him. And now Reg's looking to add to his lead. Dangerous positioning here. Another one-timer. Atkinson scores. It's 4-2 with 6:10 remaining.
That is another no-look pass for Regs. Again, we talk about his vision, his patience, what he's able to see on the ice. It is unheard of when it comes to the NHL community. He back skates so you don't know where the puck's going to go, and he finds the guy backdoor, no matter how well you're playing defense on him.
And that might very well secure the championship of Canada, and Gren is not happy about it whatsoever. 43 seconds to go in the third period. What can Gren do here? Yes, he pulls it to within one. There is hope yet.
That is huge with a toe drag backhand finish. And we thought this game was over. We thought it was going to be an easy ride here for Regs in the final minute. But no, Quinn Hughes rushes coast to coast all the way up the ice and hits him with the backhand toe.
Quinn Hughes, one of the last picks for young Gren on his third defensive pairing. And let's see if it's enough. It will not be. Regs is your champion of Canada. Congratulations, $10,000 richer, but also the Canadian champion.
Losing it. Hey, GG's on, man. Congrats. You deserved it. You were by the best part.
An incredible effort for Regs, a well-deserved championship victory. He goes absolutely perfect in the 2020 Canadian Regional Finals in order to secure the Canadian Championship. Now let's go over to Corey Robinson.
Thanks so much, Arda. Wow, Regs, what a tournament. You are the champ. How does it feel?
Feels good. Came up short in 2018 on making World Finals. Lost to Gren in the Losers Finals. So it felt good to get him back here. And then last year fell short by a game of qualifying for regionals. And just to get here, it's a big thing. It's so tough. Canada's so deep, so many good players. But I'm so grateful to come out on top today.
And it seemed like, we talked before, you and Gren have such great respect for each other and such great rapport. What do you, I guess, take away from this unbelievable series against a great player playing at a peak level right now?
There's no doubt about that. We're the top two in Canada. I think we've showed it throughout the year and again today that we're just incredible at the game. We put lots of time and effort into it. We played each other probably 5-6 times a day leading up to this once we got our team. So we knew each other well, but we're still very versatile and we find different ways to score. And I know in the last game, his third goal, I couldn't believe what he did. It just shows like how talented of a player he is.
Yeah, it was wizardry. Congratulations again. And I got to ask one last question. What are you going to do with the prize money? $10,000.
It's a lot. I have no clue. Definitely going to celebrate with the family and friends. It's tough to do a whole lot with everything going on in the world right now. Just hope everyone stays safe, continue to social distance. But no, I'll figure out something to do with family and friends, and don't know what I'm going to do with the money, but we're going to celebrate for sure.
Congratulations again, Regs. Great tournament. You're Canadian regional champ. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Corey. Ever modest and humble in victory is Regs. Let's put it into perspective, Nasher. How monumental was this victory?
This is huge for him. He's been wanting to do this for a long time. For him to come out and stick to his game plan, not only win the cash, it's not about the $10,000. Listen, he loves the money, let's be honest, but he is the #1 player in all of Canada. That's what he's been trying to gun for the entire time he's been in this tournament, and he made it happen.
That does it for us here. Thank you so much for watching the Canadian Regional Final of the NHL Gaming World Championship. For Nasher and Corey Robinson, I'm Arda Ocal. We'll see you next time.
Let's go, baby.
Dude, he is 6 for 6.
Too easy.
Let's go!
Let's go, baby.